Have you ever been in a raid and found yourself down a warrior or two and all you have ever wanted to shout was and just like that you become a warrior? Well folks, that is what's coming to EverQuest in the next expansion. Hey folks, TBC here. Now we finally got some more news coming from EverQuest's most recently announced expansion, Laurions Song. Now, I focus more on the TLP servers, but I do think there's one huge aspect that is going to affect the TLP servers moving forward that is going to be a huge and central feature of this upcoming expansion, and that is personas. Now, how do they work? Very, very similar to Final Fantasy XIV's kind of jobs, where you can switch on the fly, you can save your gear sets and switch out as needed to a different class. Will you have to level the class? Well, yes. Will you have to get gear for that will work? Well, I'd presume so, yes. Will you be as strong as another character? I don't see why not, but how that will all work in terms of spells, will you have to get them all? That seems like a lot of work, especially in EverQuest, where you just don't get them automatically. You have to go get them from vendors or quest and so on. Could this be used on TLP servers? Absolutely, and I expect it to. Bear in mind, EverQuest, they're looking for ways to basically make more money. They're a business, they need to make money. And when, say, 50% of your player base never buys the most recent expansion, they've no reason to, that's not a great business model. And we saw with the last expansion, they are looking at ways to kind of put new content to TLP players. And we saw that with the trade skill depot. But that's kind of niche, not a lot of players are into trade skills. Even though the depot is very good and very useful, most players find no reason to get it. But with personas and maybe able to change class kind of almost on the fly, will that appeal to more TLP players? And I think absolutely it will, and it will give TLP players a reason to buy this expansion. So that would be my prediction. Yes, you'll be able to do this on the TLP, and it will be potentially very, very powerful. Could you switch to a cleric and res someone who died if you don't have a cleric, or your cleric died? Could you switch and res your cleric? I don't know. That's gonna be so interesting to see how that will play out. If you played in the beta and got any more information, let me know down below. I'm very interested to see where this leads, because this is something very, very new for EverQuest. EverQuest has always been about alts, and a lot of people are altaholics, and they will have multiple characters running through. And with personas, maybe that will change. Maybe you'll just need the one main account now and a main character that you can switch to. And I'd be interested to see how the legacy kind of plays into it as well. The oakwynd, they tested this legacy XP where your second or third character to max level gets bonus XP. And I really like that, and it's kind of giving you a bit more of an incentive to level more. And I would like to see that kind of in there with the persona system, if that could be done. So if you got one class to 60, for example, it's not going to take you as long to get the next one. You'll get a 10% buff, and so on, and stacks all the way up to 10 or 12. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. It'd be an absolute pain to manage on raids potentially, with people not wanting to switch on the fly and get loot and whatnot for the personas and not the main class. I can see that being a problem, but maybe the solution will be we do more GDKP and just have it all plat or chrono bid out as opposed to regular DKP. I don't know. It's going to be interesting moving forward what that could potentially mean. Or maybe the system will just be disabled in raids. That could be also something they do as well. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to seeing where this leads. Also, some news we got in the upcoming test pack is the removal of True Box for Mangler, Aradune, Mischief, and Formblade if anyone still plays there, which they probably don't. This is interesting. Players on Mangler have been calling out for this for a long time. Now, what True Box does, it means, or it should mean, one character per computer, and for the most part that works. There are unfortunately ways around it, and people do that and abuse it, and again it's like a game of cat and mouse for the developers, but they typically seem to leave it alone right now. But anyway, that's going from Mangler. You'll be able to play as many characters as you want on your main PC as long as it can manage. Interestingly, though, they've added that to Aradune. Now, Aradune was supposed to be the 2-box limit server. So whether that part of it will stay, they remove the 2-box, but you can still only have 2 characters. I doubt they're going to be enforcing that anyway, even if that is the case. And then another interesting one, they've removed it from Mischief. Now, Mischief has probably maintained the highest population of any TLP, and I think it's in Seeds of Destruction right now and has been doing very, very well and healthy. So it's interesting why they've decided at this time to remove that from Mischief. What does it mean for Mischief? Well, it means probably more cheating and more automation, because those programs that allow that will almost open up overnight, and multiple characters, a lot more people boxing, a lot more people doing the automation and those programs that assist with that. So will that have an adverse impact on the player base of Mischief? I don't know. I mean, I typically find most people will have 2 or 3 and then use mercs and to make up their full group, and that tends to work pretty well. And you know, if you're still playing on Mischief, what do you think? Do you think this is going to have any kind of impact whatsoever? I doubt it. We also got the producer's letter recently. There was nothing in it other than the announcement of the new expansion. And while some of the art and the modeling that's coming out of the expansion looks really cool, I've no idea what this expansion was about. It's something completely new what they're doing, I think. Because if you look at the past 6 expansions that they've done, they did 2 Kunark, 2 Velius, 2 Lucklin. So a lot of people were expecting it just to go rolling straight into Planes of Power. But it looks like they're doing something a little bit different this time. Which, good, I'm glad. I like to see new and different things. But yeah, I typically play TLP, so I am really interested into seeing how the Persona like piece works, and whether that would be very similar to Final Fantasy XIV. Let me know down in the comments below. As ever, I want to give a huge shout out to our channel supporters. It very, very much appreciated, and it helps me continue to make content about EverQuest for you all. If you're interested in becoming a member, look in the button and down below. Also appreciate if you want to see more videos, there is the option to like and subscribe to the channel as well, so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. As ever, I am the Brick Canuck, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.